Alright guys, Jackzer here. Today I'm going to be giving you my long-term review of the MOZA CRP2 pedals. So I've been using these now for quite a while. I got these sent to me a couple of months ago and I've been putting them through their paces. And I'm just going to give you my basic observations. These are all my own thoughts. This has been sent to me, this unit, by MOZA for this purpose of testing in this review. But yeah, like always, these are just my own opinions, thoughts to help you form your own complete thoughts on this product, whether you're shopping, whether you're researching, or whether you're just here for entertainment. So before we get into it, it's worth noting my style of interview. It's really just a review. It's really just observational based. It's just letting you know what I've seen, what I felt, how I used it, and cool things that are worth noting. So I'm going to keep it very, very simple, very, very sweet. In general, the whole pedals is covered with aluminium. It's made from aluminium with a nice, lovely carbon fiber heel rest. There's no sharp bits anywhere on it. The finish is really, really good on this. The color choice of combination is really, really nice. If I pick this up here, I'll show you. You know, they have this lovely kind of gold sort of stuff going on in the back. Likewise on the side and on the front, you will actually see the logo of MOZA Racing. So really, really nice. Sorry for the lighting. It could be a little better if I turn it this way. There we go. You can see the lovely pattern that's actually on these heel rests, which is, or the heel rest, sorry, where the footrest is of the pedal faces, which is a very, very cool design. But what I noticed was when racing, if you do race with socks yourself, it can get a little bit slippy. Now, like all pedal faces, some pedals are a little slippy, so you kind of got to get used to them. But it is a super, super smooth material. But it's nothing too concerning, to be honest. It's just if you're really jumping around the pedals quite a lot, you could slip off if they're not angled correctly. But having the pedals angled correctly via your rig could completely get rid of this problem. All the pedals are smooth. I'm really, really happy with that. They're super smooth, super nice. The clutch is really, really smooth. I do like the feeling of it. Some people have said that they're not too keen on it. To be honest, it does exactly what it's meant to do. I picked up the clutch straight away and I actually just gave it a quick go. I noticed a little bar pop out the back. So it's nice to be able to see that kind of little two-step mechanism work. Unboxing it, I will say, was a pleasure. Everything was packaged absolutely perfectly, like really, really well. And we expect that from MOZA at this point. Really, really, really impressed with the packaging. It did come separate, so you did have to put the pedals together yourself. I did mention the price of about $450 to $550, depending on where you're getting from. In euro, if you want to add the clutch pedal, it's about an extra €109 on top of that. So do bear that in mind. If you use the clutch, it's worth it. But if you don't use the clutch, you know, a two-pedal solution is great because even just the two of these guys, the accelerator and the brake on their own, it's a really, really nice combo. So assembly's fine. The build quality is fine. I'm happy with the cabling underneath. I'll show you really quick. Check this out. It's neat. You do it yourself. You wire all that stuff in. It's very clear where everything goes. It says, you know, clutch, brake, load cell, throttle. Very, very simple. The cables are all labeled very well. There is no messing around at all. That's that. So all that sort of stuff out the way. Quickly, before we get into the driving aspect, I'd like to mention the software. The software can be hit or miss for me sometimes just because, like, I installed it myself. I did request the language to be put into English and then it kind of goes into Chinese. So finding your way out of it if you're not too sure how to read Chinese can be a bit tricky. But in general, the MOZA Pithouse software has gotten a lot better over the years from what I've seen. So it is actually a fairly solid software. Calibrating these pedals was super quick. Min, max, bang, done, ready to rock and roll. That's all I needed, you know. So it's fairly self-explanatory. You can do a lot in the software, especially with the steering wheel side of things. They have an interest in force feedback kind of thing. But for the pedals, I like to keep it very, very, very simple. So that was that done. It was time to hop into my favorite simulator, which is iRacing. And let's see how that got on. So one thing I noticed straight off the bat with these pedals was that they were instantly really, really well set up out of the box. And by set up, I mean, you know, the throttle, the loading and all that sort of stuff was fine. But the brakes were really, really set up fine. Nothing fancy. It's just two different kind of strengths of elastomer polyurethane rubber that was set up 4 and 4 with a washer each side, but it gave for such a nice progressive feel into something super, super stiff and easy to replicate very, very high peaks over and over again. You'll see now here I'm not perfect, but you're really able to get up to a level, stay at it, and come back down. Now, I will say this is more so a feature of the polyurethane rubbers. Like, for example, I have the SimMagic P1000s. You can do a similar kind of combination with that, but it is nice to know how it came out of the box a little bit stiff, but like a hard race car pedal, let's say, or a simple race car pedal. It was completely progressive up until a really stiff point that felt soft, but it also felt very predictable. So really, really nice. Again, the pedal faces can be a little bit slippy, so depending if you use shoes or socks, just bear that in mind. But having them angled correctly so you don't press down too much, because your foot will then kind of continue up off the pedal. This wasn't overly an issue for me. It's just maybe with my style, maybe I'm a bit too dancey on the pedals. But yeah, no, honestly, I'm looking at them here now. One thing I don't give them enough credit for: they are absolutely stunning. They're a really, really good looking set of pedals. That's for sure. The hexagon pattern on the pedal face is nice, even if it does cause a bit of slippiness. I'd trade it any day of the week, 100%. So there is that. So I wanted to have a little look at the polyurethane rubbers because the brakes were nice out of the box. I wanted to see what they had done. This has the toolless interchangeability of all the brake stuff. So it's a very simple thing. You just kind of unscrew the nut and then you undo the preload via the threaded bar. And then you undo the black bar, which kind of pulls that up. And then you can kind of pop open the assembly with very minimal force. It's very similar to SimMagic's in that sense. And what you do is you can then pull out the rod. It's a bit slippy, so you get a good grip on it. You pull out the rod and you have your whole assembly there. You can customize things according to the instructions. There's also a brake performance kit, which I recommend you get because it really opens up all of your kind of options that you can do with the brake pedal, which is for a no-brainer. I think it's like €21, and you get a lot more customization with the brake pedal. So do check that out, 100%. And then putting it back together, you drop it back in, get the threaded bar, screw it on, and you kind of put the black thing on beforehand, like in the video you're seeing now. And that's it, you're good to go. You just lock down the nut, adjust a little preload if you like a little bit of preload, and then you're good to go. So all in all, I'm super happy with the brake. Trail braking was super easy. All different things were really easy. I was really gelling with these the first second that I did try them. Tried them out in loads of different cars and sims. I was fairly happy with them. Honestly, the brake, lit. The throttle is a very, very simple mechanism. It's a little bit noisy, but that's the sound of air coming out. I did ask the guys over at MOZA, and that's what they told me. It's kind of like an air out sort of system. So it's completely fine, and it's by design. The throttle shape is nice, as you can see from this testing I was doing. The way it kind of mounts up super quick. It's very, very predictable. What you do with your foot is also shown on the graph and in the telemetry, to be expected from what would be their top of the range pedal set, the CRP2s. So in all honesty, and I tried the clutch is just clutchy. I'm not a clutch expert, so it's predictable, it's easy to use, it's easy to launch with. I am a fan of that, so that is really, really cool. One thing I will say, the heel rest on these pedals I found to be very functional. It was in the correct position out the bat. I really, really like the way the heel rest works, because some pedals have heel rests and you don't really make connection. Like the SimMagic P1000s, for example, has an amazing heel rest system, with lots of different kinds of functionality. Similar with this guy, you can really, really rely on the heel rest to be where you want it, where some are just kind of there for show. This is very functional. So really, really big up on that one. Very easy to clean. There's a lot of gaps in it. So one microfiber cloth and a trusty middle finger, you can get around a whole lot. It's really, really easy to clean in that sense. So all in all, there's a lot of things I could go over the specs. This made of aluminium construction, carbon fiber heel plate, 200 kilo load cell sensor, 15-bit high precision angle sensor, 125 different combinations and permutations of brake feel, fully adjustable throttle and clutch, smooth and quiet design, tool-free adjustment, a lot of adjustability, and supports inverted mounting. It does offer quite a lot for a very competitive price. And we've seen this kind of coming from MOZA, this theme of them kind of wanting to go for Fanatec a little harder and offering these super aggressive prices with these really good price to performance products. So I have to say, I can't really fault the CRP2s. There's just a personal preference thing that the foot plates, the pedal plates, are a little bit slippy for my liking, but that's just because I like to use socks, and I know not everybody uses socks. One other bit of news pertaining to these pedals is that they are modular, so the brake pedal will be upgradable to the M Booster kit in the future, which is quite interesting, to be honest. I'm not sure what it's going to look like or how it's going to feel. Maybe one day I'll be able to let you know in the future, but it's going to be interesting. This pedal plate is built like a brick strong house, let's say, and there's complete adjustability for left, right, different holes, very thick threads. So it's like this thing was built in mind that one day it might be actually receiving and marrying up to a M Booster kit, the active pedal made by MOZA. So that's there in the future for this pedal set. So if you are looking to buy into a pedal set, it's nice to know that there's that kind of customization coming in the future. And for example, if you don't want to buy active pedals now and stuff like that, it's nice to know that that's coming. So at least you have the base for it, and then you can swap that out should you choose in the future. But to be honest, it's a strong pedal set. The accelerator, the brake, they are down there for dancing 100%. So to be honest, I'm really happy with the pedals. You know, I'm not going to tell you whether you should buy them or not. That's up to you to decide, you know. But they're really good. They're really good. They do what they say in the tin for a very good price. And MOZA usually seem fine with dealing with if you got to get in touch with them for support or anything like that. So, you know, if you are looking into buying these and they really fit your style, geez, I really can't deter you from doing it because they're very, very strong. And it goes to show the competition recently in the sim racing market has been very, very strong. That's always great. We love to see that. We love to see high quality products coming in at low, low prices. MOZA, Sim Magic, we have Fanatec, we have all these different companies really pushing the bill. They're all pushing the technology together and the prices are coming down while the tech needs to get better to have new high price products. So yeah, guys, keep fighting out there. We absolutely love it as consumers. But that's pretty much it. My simple review of the MOZA CRP2 pedals. You know, there's not a lot more to say. Durability, have a look at them. They absolutely look fine. And these things have been hammered when I was testing them. So, oh, faultless. Really, really nice, really handy. A lot of adjustability. That's it. And if you own a set of CRP2 pedals yourself, let me know down in the comments down below. What have they been like for you? Have you noticed any issues? Have you noticed any cool things you can do with them? Let me know, and especially prospective people who are researching these pedals or people who are interested in looking at just different kinds of pedals altogether. So I'd really appreciate your feedback, and so would they too. So guys, this has been my review of the CRP2 pedals by MOZA Racing. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you out there on the track.